Welcome to this new informative podcast, in which we will discuss a very important topic in the educational field. It is about ICT, Information and Communication Technologies. At present, ICT is educational innovation, and this allows students and teachers to make decisive change from what was normally done in the traditional classroom and in the teaching process learning them. Next, we will focus on issues of great importance about ICT in the educational context and everything that is encompasses. This time, I am accompanied by my university colleague, H1, with a very interesting contribution because it is important that we are aware of the position of the teacher, parents, and students facing technology and virtual education. In addition to have a broad vision about the school of the future, the current situation, and its future approach. This podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. So, let's get started.
Use of ICT in education. Technological advances in recent years have been a great resource for education, which represents a great activity among teachers and students. Technology has increased as it is very necessary, and it is that to learn online you have to be on innovation. Online education, digital whiteboard, application, virtual realities, artificial intelligence, creation or simulation are part of the pages of technological resources for teaching and learning, which allows the teacher to make more dynamic context, new activities, and exchange learning. This tool replaces the traditional, choose a book, voucher, etc. With ICT information or online contents are used, which are processed, stored so that students can have access at any time they want. The possibility of observing the class over and over again improves learning opportunities. This encourages activities student attitude. It should be noted that there are the advantages and disadvantages of ICT. Advantages of ICT, both for the teacher and student, are the motivation, interest, interactivity, cooperation, continuous intellectual activity. Disadvantages of ICT: distraction, addiction, waste of time, incomplete and superficial learning. The use of ICT in education is very innovative and motivates students to want to learn. It is open to any public, rich, poor, disabled, etc. If we want a society forming in technology and academic, its ICT must be used in correct way.
Teacher and technology. Technology is increasing in the environment of our social life, work, and of course education. They have become a reality in the classroom, but in many cases a reality that has been wasting due to obstacles caused by inflexible school organization, lack of culture and digital literacy, or even poor or inadequate teacher training for the implementation of ICT in the classroom. The problem of the use of ICT in the teaching learning process does not lie with the student who was born in a digitalist world and usually has high command of them, but with the teacher who feel inspired in this new space and even sometimes prefer not to use technology because of their lack of knowledge about them and show themselves to be inferior to their student, who usually supports them in terms of the command of technology and access to information and knowledge available on the web. We know that in today's world, there are new technology tools that help teachers and students to perform in this new technology era, and its service allows when acquiring new learning or knowledge. But the problem of many teachers is the technology that is behind use, since most of the excellent teachers were born in an era of very little technology, and it is the most understandable. They will feel the satisfaction of having achieved one more goal and having formed a new knowledge together with their students, thanks to the education of tomorrow behind achieved.
Student and family facing technology. At this time, technology play a very important role in educational centers, student and family, serving as a tool to access education through application and platform. It has not been easy for all of us to go through this situation. We were not prepared for an education with this methodology. For this reason, it is very important that we all get involved to be able to improve and take advantage of ICT. Begin to use various media and interact more with this resource. ICT provides many tools and didactic resources that, if well used, can facilitate the teaching and learning process. For this reason, students need to develop their digital competence, since ICT will be more and more present in the future, for which we prepare our students, and for this it is essential that we carry our multiple learning activities with the support of the ICT, both teacher, student, and family, so that students learning more and improve their academic results. Technology helps to writing methodology, like memorization, and more autonomy of the student.
Will the school of the future be a pleasant experience? Technology is constantly changing our society, so we have to adapt to ICT evolution. In the field of education, the use of ICT will transform the school of the future in the next 20 or 30 years. Technology in education helps to improve education in the teaching and learning process. The school will have an excellent infrastructure that is connected to the use of data, accessible energy, intelligent cabling system, and high power connection. The classroom could have easy access to the Wi-Fi network in a fast and secure way. Gamification that will allow the teachers to have better behavior in the classroom. Virtual reality for an optimal study. Virtual laboratory for any subject. Independent learning. Electronic boards. The constant use of the tablets with educational application, etc. The digital platform were the collaboration and flexible as any Google tool that will help the teachers and the students to teach and learn from any place. Also, investigate some interesting topics quickly. For example, we are currently in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic worldwide. Therefore, schools, colleges, and universities have been closed temporarily. So, the classroom were transformed virtually. the only way to teach has been online, which is working with digital platforms. So, we can see that all this change is preparing the future for us.
The current situation, futures approach. Currently, the COVID-19 pandemic has generated many social and economic problems that will impact on education in the medium and long term and due to the lack of information about similar crises in the past. It's very difficult to predict what will happen in the immediate future. What has been mentioned the most so far is that learning inequalities and marginalization towards the most disadvantaged students who cannot study online may increase. However, some organizations such as UNESCO are already taking steps to help countries implement inclusive distance education solutions. In conclusion, we can say that this pandemic has once again made it clear that the future is uncertain and we cannot predict it currently. Which is why it's important that tomorrow's education focuses on training critical, creative, collaborative, and competent people who will contribute to the development of a more aware, inclusive, technological, and sustainable society, and that they will also be prepared for technologies that haven't yet been created, for jobs that haven't yet been invented, and above all, for all kinds of problems and difficulties that haven't yet been foreseen. Since even if the future is uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, we must be open and prepared for it at all times. Thank you for listening to this podcast, and we hope you enjoyed it. Until the next opportunity.